at the sky and wonder in amazement. Get your pretty eyes up off the pavement. Just stop wherever you are. Turn up the music, turn up the stars.
So, throughout time, snowshoes have been used for a variety of different reasons. Today, of course, snowshoeing is much more recreational. Some people who still work in logging industries or work in the outdoors and have to trek into an area will use snowshoes for practical reasons and for the efficiency that they provide in covering great distances over snow without any source of ATV or vehicle. So today I'm going to start focusing on some of the types of snowshoes that I actually own, and then I'm going to look at trying to explain some of the other snowshoes that I don't necessarily have my hands on, but I'll throw in some pictures during this talk about just to give you a visual about those different types of snowshoes. So I have had the opportunity to build a pair of snowshoes myself, and I actually have them with me today, and I'll be showing you a little bit of the construction of snowshoes as well. So we'll get right into the original snowshoes before the new aluminum ones came on the scene. So let's look at the construction of the snowshoes before I get into the different types of snowshoes. I'm only going to talk about 3 of the basics because I just don't have the time. But basically, a snowshoe consists of the outer frame. It consists of a supporting bar across here and a supporting piece across the back. This area is where most of your weight is put, and therefore it tends to be the stronger build area, or platform. This is where it carries most of your flotation. In the case of this snowshoe, it is actually used, or was traditionally used, to travel across lakes because it's a very long aerodynamic design. It was designed to distribute your weight across a bigger area so that when you're crossing a lake, if you do hit a soft spot or any weaker ice, at least your weight is distributed in a bigger area. So these were designed for lake travel and open travel. The long tail on this snowshoe would help to keep it straight as you're traveling, and the slight upturned tip would help you to float over the top of the snow, and then when you land, you don't have to lift as high to get up and over the snow. So these areas also just help to distribute the toe and the tail, help to distribute your weight. The frame in this case was used, ash trees were used. This wood was steamed and put into a mold to shape it into this traditional shape. This is my favorite. We are familiar with 3. There's a very small snowshoe. It's very round or slightly oval or tear shaped, and those snowshoes, they tend to be not much bigger, maybe 3 times the width of your foot, possibly shoulder width for me, very round. These ones are called a bear paw. I don't have one of them. They're hard to get your hands on, but those would have been used for trekking through tight bush, through the forest where you don't have a lot of room to maneuver, but you need a snowshoe to help keep you above the snow and keep you from falling through. So the bear paw was made or designed specifically for traveling through the forest. So the other 2 types of snowshoes that are more commonly seen, of course, is the Ojibwe, which is the one that I've shown you here with the long pointed top. But then, of course, the most common that most of you, if you've ever been to an outdoor education program or if you've ever had an opportunity to try snowshoeing and you're using a traditional snowshoe, tends to be the Huron. And it basically looks like this snowshoe, a little bit shorter with more of a rounded toe to it. And those were designed as more of a multi-purpose type snowshoe, whereas this one being designed for the lakes and open areas. Obviously you don't get as tangled. You could get more tangled with one of these. With the Huron, the blunt nose would help to push through areas and not necessarily get tangled up under branches or small shrubs like this one would in the forest. So those are the 3 years ago, if not a little longer. Snowshoes took on a whole new look. They've gotten away from the wooden hide materials that are used in the more traditional snowshoe, and they've moved into more of a aluminum frame and synthetic or plastics, depending on the quality of your snowshoe that you're buying, that are synthetic materials that are used to provide the flotation. This snowshoe is fabulous. It's great for about 150 to 200 pound person. You can get them, of course, smaller for children and bigger for bigger adults. I did bring a bigger pair. These ones are fabulous if you're working and you have to actually do a lot of traveling in the forest or in and out of a heavily snowed area. Much more flotation to this. This one's up to 300 pounds of flotation. They can have a slightly smaller build to them or frame to them because there are no holes in here, so they are helping to hold, they don't sink as much and they help to hold you up. I'm still an old school person. I really like using my traditional wood snowshoes, but these, since I've tried them out, they're actually fabulous for traveling along trails that may have been trodden on before, as well as groomed trails where there's multi-purpose uses. So these are great. They keep you from slipping. They have really good grip, and the bindings are really good for getting your typical snow boot in there and to lock in without very much adjustment compared to the old leather. So that was my fun little talk about snowshoes, and I hope that someday you'll get a chance to try them. There are many outdoor centers and many facilities and some parks now that have winter activities that you can check out, and you can rent snowshoes. Places like Mountain Equipment Co-op and facilities like that rent out these sorts of things. So I've got my trusty new Atlas snowshoes on, and I'm gonna just walk off into the snowy area here just so you can see how it works. Keeping in mind that you do have something a little wider than you're used to, so your walk is a little wider, and if you're not used to snowshoeing for long distances, you have to build up to that, because you can actually, there's muscles that you can actually pull a little bit, and if you try walking for too long, which I've experienced in the past, and I'm not used to it, then you can actually pull these muscles and they can hurt a little bit. So this is Trooper Girl signing off on our snowshoe expedition. I got my day pack, I got a little bit of water and all sorts of stuff, and I'm going to head off now and have a lovely trek into the forest. See ya.
Look at the sky and wonder in amazement. Get your pretty eyes up off the pavement. Just stop wherever you are. Turn up the music, turn up the stars. Overwhelming sometimes, thinking about the people in the world. Oh, and it's crazy thinking about how little we are. Oh, it's overwhelming to think there might be somebody out there just like us, looking back at us from a star. Oh, you gotta look at the sky and wonder in amazement. Get your pretty eyes up off the pavement. Just stop wherever you are. Turn up the music, turn up the stars. I don't understand why everybody's in this big rush to get somewhere. Oh, they are always in a hurry, always worrying about this and that and something else. And your head still